So let's talk about how you can break up negative habits. You see, habits or thoughts which enter our mind are simply only given permission to be there by our relationship to that habit. You see, habits are created over a period of time. So if we have a negative behavior or issue in our life, it's come into fruition simply by doing it a number of times. Now, I know you don't consciously do this on purpose. The body assumes control of it. It's like learning to drive a car. As soon as you got in the car, it's very overwhelming at first, but after a couple of weeks of you doing your lessons and absolutely having been in the car by yourself for a period of months, you start to do it naturally where you don't think about it. And that goes for the same thing for pretty much every habit that you've got right now. The good, the bad, the ugly. They're things which are created at an unconscious level and are maintained and carried out in an unconscious way. So how can you change a habit which is having an impact on your life? Well, there's a few ways we can do this. The first thing we need to do is become conscious of our strategy. So I'd like to ask you the question of, how do you know when it's time to feel XYZ or to do XYZ? So what's your reality there, or your reality strategy of it actually happening? So what's the trigger? What triggers you to have that thought, behavior, habit, whatever it may be, if you even are feeling? And consider that trigger. Maybe it's something that you hear. Maybe it's something that you see. Maybe it's something that you feel. Now, usually it's going to be an external trigger because you won't consciously do it on the in your mind, in other words. So it's going to be usually something external. So consider that. How do you know when it's time to do this habit or behavior? And I want you to consider that trigger, because that's the thing which is firing off the strategy, firing off that habit. And the more we know about it, or not know all the details, but know when it's happening or when it starts to happen, we can interrupt that habit, that pattern, break it, and instead go down a new way.